Estonian Prime Minister is under mounting pressure over claims that her husband has maintained business interests in Russia. Even Estonia's president has said this report has put the credibility of the Estonian state into question. Reports emerged last week that Stark Logistics, a company partly owned by Kaja Kallas' husband, Arvo Halik, continued to do business in Russia since the invasion of Ukraine last year. Although Kallas and Halik maintained that the business was assisting another Estonian company, Metaprint, to wrap up trade with Russia, Estonia's local media have reported that Metaprint sold some $18 million worth of goods to Russia between the start of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February of 2022 and the following November. This revelation comes as Prime Minister Kaja Kallas remains one of Europe's most outspoken supporters of Ukraine. She has time and again urged all EU companies to stop doing business with Russia after its invasion of Ukraine. And ever since the war began, she has said there must be no business with Russia. Moreover, her husband, Arvo Halik, responded to this and said that he would sell his 25% stake in Stark Logistics, a trucking company that works with the Estonian company involved in Russia. He also said that he will resign as the company's chief financial officer and step down from the board as well. Halik insists that his wife is not aware of his business activities. Estonia's prime minister is not the only high-level politician who has faced flack for being involved in Russian businesses. Here in the United States, President Joe Biden's son Hunter is being accused of receiving millions from oligarchs in Russia and Kazakhstan when Joe Biden was vice president of the United States. All right, for more on this, we are now being joined by former German ambassador to NATO, Joachim Bitterlich from Normandy. Ambassador, thank you so much for joining us on WION. So the headline that most papers are going with is Estonia's hypocrisy over the war in Ukraine. What do you make of this?
Well, it's a new subject, if you want. It's what I call compliance in politics. And it becomes more and more difficult and more sensitive. The first question is, okay, the husband of a lady may be, let's say, touched by, let's say, compliance subjects of the other side of a marriage. The question will be, and the family, what we will do with the family, brothers, sisters, uncles, cousins, etc., and what's the degree? In this Estonian case, it's interesting, I'm aware of extreme sensitivity with regard to Russia. The Estonians are extremely anti-Russian. It's well known, it's clear. But on the other hand, the husband of the prime minister has been following, let's say, this job, following the rules of Estonia. Nothing more, nothing less. And a total boycott of Russia has never been decided by the European Union. Perhaps wishful thinking of some, but there have been always certain commercial ties. And for me, the question is, where are the limits? I understand the sensitivity, but where are the limits in such a case?
Yeah, and we have that situation here in the United States as well, where politicians, well, right now it's Joe Biden, the president of the United States, who insists that he's not involved in his son's business dealing. And we hear that from the Estonian prime minister as well, talking about her husband's business dealings. But, is that even realistic?
Well, in political terms, it's normal that you are automatically under fire by any opposition. This is valuable to President Biden because of his son. This is valuable in this case here. It has been valuable in France because of the former Prime Minister Fillon with Russian business, for Sarkozy and Hollande and others. It's automatically you are under fire. And they would be wise, let's say, to abstain from any business during such a sensitive time. It's clear. But where are the limits in my eyes? He could have done to say to a special party his parts of a company. Yes, it would have been perhaps more wise and maintaining it till now. But, well, it's political sensitivity. But the question for me is still, well, I understand it. It would have been wiser to put these parts, let's say, into a neutral part. Yes. But on the other hand, where are really the limits for any politician and his family? Where are the limits? Legal constraints, I accept entirely. Moral constraints, yes. And in this case, well, you have to add what I call the extreme political sensitivity of his case in Estonia. And I'm a bit astonished because the Estonian Prime Minister is considered in Brussels and in the European capitals as one of the biggest talents in politics, in international politics. And therefore, I'm a bit astonished because of this lack of certain sensitivity.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much for that. And Ambassador, I guess the sensitivity is somewhat global, notably in the global south, where countries are wondering, where is the limit for them when Europe lectures them on doing business with Russia? And then we have a story like this as well. It was a pleasure speaking to you, Ambassador. Thank you.
You're absolutely right. Goodbye. Thank you.